It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
We are back. Talking racing now. I am Sean Stanley. He is the great Spencer O'Neill, a.k.a. No Doubt. And we are talking some NASCAR racing. First off, No Doubt, how have you been, sir?
I've been excellent, man. Just, hanging out.
How you been? Sorry.
You're good. Been good, busy. The kids are out of school, so I don't know. They had more energy now. But other than that, it's been just a lot of racing going on.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of racing going on and a lot of winning for one specific individual. And look, we can sit here and talk about the race, but all we'd really discuss is how good SVG is on road courses. So I wanted to pose it this way.
Okay.
In the last 5 weeks, SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, has won 3 races. Of course, all 3 on road courses, road course in Mexico, the Chicago Street Race, and of course this just current one in Sonoma. Now, I took this because I heard them talking yesterday on the broadcast, and they were like, does SVG deserve to be in the playoffs? And it's very interesting because I started looking at it and I'm like, all right, let me take a look at how the playoffs have kind of unfolded here. And SVG sits third in the playoffs with the 3 victories behind Hamlin and Larson. But when you go out to the big picture and you get the standings of NASCAR without all of the wins and stuff like that, which winning is very important, he sits 26th. 26th. And then I went farther and I'm like, okay, what do we got coming up? And I look at it and I say, okay, we got Watkins Glen coming up. That could possibly be his 4th win. And he could catapult Larson's 4 or 3.
I think it's Bell, Larson, and Van Gisbergen all have 3.
And Hamlin too.
Does Hamlin have 3 wins?
Yeah, Hamlin has 3 wins. He's sitting number 2 right now. Bell's
Okay,
4.
well then Larson doesn't have 3 wins. He might just have 1. I might have just said that.
Oh no, Larson's number 1 in the playoffs right now. So he's got to either have 4 or 3.
Okay.
What I looked it up and they went Larson, Hamlin, SVG, Bell, Byron for the top 5. But in real standings, it's Byron is 1, Hamlin's sitting number 5, Elliott's number 2, Larson's number 3, and I forgot who was 4. They're not even in the playoff picture. Who's 4? So they haven't got a victory yet. But it was very interesting to me to see there. And then I went back to look at the like I said, the last races and who they won. Chris Buescher won Watkins last year, the road course. So now if he was to win that race, that would put him automatically into the playoffs. Austin Dillon won Richmond last year. If he repeats that, he will jump from currently 28th in points into the playoffs. And then Harrison Burton and the Woods brothers ended up winning the Daytona race to end the season, which right now Josh Berry's already in. He has a win. But again, when you get to Daytona, those races, anything could happen. And right now you've got Reddick, Buescher, Bowman, Wallace, the last 4 out right now without wins. And then Ryan Preece is 3 points out, Kyle Busch 37. And then you got a couple of racers that are about 59 to 60 points out. And depending on, they need a lot of help basically if they're going to get into points wise. Now, if they win, that's a whole different thing. But I want to get your perspective on this, Spencer, with SVG. Now he's won the races. He's shined in the street races. He's gotten better on the ovals. But if he was to say win Watkins, right, and then go to number 4, and then he goes, I think, number 2 in the playoff points, the round of 16, as long as he stays competitive, he should get down to 12. And the last race in the round of 12 is, guess what?
Road course. Yep.
Then he could punch his ticket to 8, like the round of 8 too. And so it's very interesting to me to how now you have SVG who is look, he's racing every race. He's getting better on all the tracks. It's not like he just comes in and only races the road races and everything else. So he's racing everything. But should there be a provision into the playoffs where, okay, you won on the road course, but you have to win a regular style race? I mean, again, because you also get the Daytonas, your Talladegas, where, everybody wrecks, and by the end you get a car that nobody expected to win.
Right.
But like, to me, when I look at this, I'm looking, I'm like, man, this guy's won 3 out of the last 5 races, but they're all road course. And then when you look at it, Watkins coming up, he could punch his ticket to the round of 16, have enough to get to round of 12, punch into the round of 8, and possibly, hey, if he runs good enough, he could be there for a championship run in the 4.
I don't have an issue with that. I mean, to me, winning matters, right? Like, we made the rules. Everybody knows what the rules are. It's like he won 1 race. He's won 3. He's got a possibility of a 4th at another road track. I understand that, people are maybe some of the drivers that I've seen are complaining about the road courses, but I like the road courses personally. I think they're fun. If they don't want them to be in the playoffs, go out and beat them.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's 100%, accurate on there. But I guess the other question I have is this then. Does it matter that he's 20? Because everybody else, look, when I look at everybody else that's in there, right? Your boy Austin Cindric is 20th in points.
Yeah.
SVG's 26th. Josh Berry's 21st. But everybody else would be in on points.
Right.
So, I mean,
if they're going to kick anybody out, it would need to be Berry or Cindric then.
It has. Yeah, they only have 1 win.
Van Gisbergen's the one that's got 3 wins. And to be honest with you, if we get, there's what, 3 more spots without winners in it? Is it 3 or 4 more spots? We've got more than that as far as races. It could be a
Four,
situation where,
four more spots right now. But when I looked at last year's winners, they were
Mhm,
all like Hamlin won at Dover, Larson won at Indy,
right.
Blaney won at Iowa, and yeah, that's it. And then Watkins, Richmond, and Daytona were all different winners at that point. That was Harrison Burton won in Daytona, Austin won in Richmond, and Chris Buescher won at Watkins.
I mean, I could see 6 people winning 6 different races.
Yeah. And if
And
that
then,
happens, then people are going to be knocked out.
right, I love how they've been putting in like automatically qualifies for the playoffs because they had a win. It's like, well, that's not necessarily true.
No, because I think they expect others to win more than, and this
Yeah,
year's been,
you expect some of the better drivers to win over
you
and
got
over
like
again.
the
And
top four, I think, have 3 wins or actually 4 with Larson. No, one
it
of
is
them's
4. You
Sean.
were
Yeah.
right.
Okay, it is 4. Okay. But then after that, everybody, I believe, is ones, right?
Yeah,
You
I
got William
don't remember
Byron,
any.
Blaney, Cindric, Logano, Briscoe, Chastain, Barry, Elliott. That's I believe all of them have 1 win.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and then right now Byron would be the best at that because he sits number 1 in actual points at the end of the time. Consistency and everything else he's been running. Even Chase Elliott. I mean, yeah, he won in Atlanta, and how about that? The challenge. Did you play the bracket
Since
challenge thing?
I didn't play the bracket, it wouldn't have mattered anyways.
Yeah, I did, and mine was busted the first week.
Oh, with the 20 car pileup, yeah, I
Oh,
think
it
a lot of
just
people
took
were.
everything out, man. And Ty Dillon's still going. And kudos to Ty Dillon, by the way, this week. Last ditch effort going into the final corner, push Bowman up, got by him, and he
Yep.
goes on, and now he'll take on. How about this for a Final Four in this challenge? I mean, who had Ty Dillon, John Hunter Nemechek, Tyler Reddick, and who's Tyler Reddick first? Oh man,
It was the other tie, isn't it? There's
I'm
2
trying.
ties.
No, it's Ty Dillon and then Tyler Reddick. But Tyler Reddick is versing
Is Ty
somebody.
Gibbs not? I thought Ty Gibbs was
Oh
in
no,
the
you're right.
fourth.
Ty Gibbs. You're right. It's Ty Gibbs. I'm sorry. I was with her. Yeah, you're right. There's 2 ties.
A lot,
So
a lot of
Ty
ties
Dillon.
and Tylers in this. Yeah.
Yes, man. Wow. And the Final Four, like whoever had that, kudos to them because I never would have. Again, when you get to road courses though, too, it's like Hamlin doesn't do good on road courses, so he probably would have already been eliminated. And I didn't think about that. I did the old fanboy thing, and I was like, "Oh, Hamlin all the way through."
Yeah, of course.
And then I look and I'm like, "Oh, road courses." Ugh. But all you got to do is finish better. than the
Yes. All
person
you gotta do is finish better than the
against.
other person. So
Yeah. So that. But kudos to Ty Dillon, man. I'm right now. I'm cheering for him, man. I'm hoping he wins the $1 million right now. I really do. On that.
yeah, he
thing.
celebrated when he got that pass there at the end. And if I saw it correctly, I think Bowman gave him a salute, and I think Denny came and gave him a love tap.
Yeah, well, he did the Danny Hamlin thing that when he beat Hamlin in the first round. He's like, I beat your favorite driver, and then he said, I guess he called Hamlin and apologized. He's like, and Hamlin's like, what are you talking about, man? Enjoy it, bro. But I do like this because now for people that don't know, there's been a lot of these challenges out there before, but none of them have really been with the driver as far as being physically involved. The drivers are physically involved. It was always like the one I actually did was on Denny Hamlin on his podcast. They did one where it was just a bracket challenge, and you got eliminated as your guy lost or whatever. So, but I think Spencer, did you freeze? Oh, did he drop? Oh, he dropped. All right. So as I was saying, Denny Hamlin had some time where he had a bracket challenge, and this year they allowed the drivers are going for $1 million, and it's very cool to see. There you are back. It's very cool to see the way it's playing out now with the drivers physically racing and having more of a reason to race, because there's no reason for Ty Dillon to push Bowman out of the way if it wasn't for this challenge bracket.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
you
can
can
hear
hear
you
me or
now.
not.
Yeah, I got you now. I can hear you.
Cutting out. I think my internet has gone bad at the moment.
I think we're good now. Oh, no, no, you're back now. You're back now, I believe.
All right. Well, if you can hear me, yeah. Anyways, yeah, back and forth with Denny was fun.
Oh, there you go. Now you got pop back in. Were you saying anything else after that? You said fun. You said the thing with Denny Hamlin was fun, and
All
then
right. No, that was about it. I also missed like what you said for the last 2 minutes there. So
yeah, no, I was just talking about on Hamlin's podcast website. He had one set up there, and you could do it, but the drivers weren't really. There was no motivation for the drivers. It was kind of like their rate this year with them involved. It seems to have put more emphasis on it, and I mean, even the broadcasts are interviewing the drivers together and kind of like making more of it than I think anything's really been made of, and I think that's just because of the Prime and the TNT involvement in the racing now. What have you thought about the TNT and the Prime, the way they broadcast?
I enjoyed I enjoyed the Prime. I thought Dale Jr. did a really good job. I thought that was really cool. Um, him doing the broadcasting coinciding with the release of the Earnhardt documentary, that was really nice. I don't know about you, but that thing teared me up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And then also, I like the fact
Uh,
that they give you a
I
shorter
also think we
pre-race.
we kind of lose track of how successful Dale Earnhardt Jr. was because his dad was so good. Yeah. And now he's doing the own thing, and we see him all the time, and it's nice to see his face.
Yeah, and then also with him doing the crew chief, crew chief for Zilich, right? Connor Zilich, and then he got the win, and then Zilich this week picked up another win, taking out SVG actually in the Xfinity race. SVG came out the week before when he swept Chicago. So we'll get Spencer back on here in a minute. I think he's popping back in right now. Oh, I hit the wrong button. All right, so I'll wait for Spencer to come back in. But yeah, SVG swept Chicago the week before. And Spencer, I think, oh, there we go. Got you. You're back in
All
now.
right, I think we're back. I think we're good.
Okay, good deal. No problem. I was talking about the SVG, Connor Zilich. With you're talking Dale Jr. Dale Jr. ended up crew chiefing for him for one race. And then last week, when SVG swept the races in Chicago, he beat Zilich. This week, Zilich returned the favor. And look, man, I'll be honest with you. I think if SVG was an Xfinity points racer, he would have taken out Connor Zilich.
Oh, they're at the end? Yeah, maybe.
He was close enough to where he could have bumped him harder than. I mean, he gave him a bump, don't get me wrong. But I think, look, I get it, they're teammates and everything else. But if they're racing for points together, I feel like SVG would have moved him a lot more than he gave him the bump. Connor lost it, he didn't, and kind of just went with the victory.
Right. Yeah, he probably could have knocked him out, but he didn't want to win that way. And whether that's because he's teammates, whether it's because he's not in the points and he doesn't necessarily need it, he knew he was racing tomorrow in the series that really matters to him. All those things could have gone into it. But I mean, I think Connor Zilich just should be honestly celebrated for even being in that position. Nobody else has been able to stick with him on these tracks consistently beside Connor Zilich. That kid can race, and he can race a road case. He can race an oval. He's going to be a huge star. I wish they would sign him to Penske and put him in the 2-car. I like Austin Cindric, but I can get behind Connor Zilich.
Originally, I think he was going to 2311, but with all the stuff going on with 2311 now, I don't think that's happening. So,
hey, if he's out there,
Team
Penske is wonderful. It's beautiful. Yeah. You should just come and join it.
Or
Connor,
Joe
telling
Gibbs.
you.
We can get rid of Briscoe or whatever, one of them guys. We can get rid of somebody.
Hey, Briscoe won a race. He's coming around.
Yeah, so did Austin Centric. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? I want the future in with me.
Fair enough. Me too.
And he's the future on all courses. That's the interesting thing with him, man, is he's, again, in the Xfinity Series, he's shown he can drive all the tracks, as you said. He's hanging with SVG, which there's not many Cup guys that are hanging with SVG on these road courses, man.
I would like to see if some of the Cup guys could race with him in the Xfinity car, though, because I think it's more agile.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, I don't know that they could, because the reason he's so successful, if you watch when they're driving and they kind of show the pedals, that view where they look at them at the pedals, you notice he drives the car different than everybody else does. Yeah. And I think that's where his success comes from. He gets deeper into the corners. He can accelerate faster out of them. He comes in and out of the gears faster. And I believe that's where he's better. I think that's where it is.
Yeah. And he's been racing that style of racing, at least more than, again, different cars, a lot of differences, but he's used to that, understanding where you're coming out of the corner, the S's, because to me, it felt like a lot of times you would hear Letarte and Earnhardt be like, "Oh, here come the S's. They're probably going to slow down a little bit." And to me, it felt like SVG just kind of took off in the S's there, and it was like it's a little different than what everybody else was, as you were saying there. So he found something. He understands something. And then the fact too, when Chase Elliott and all those went to pit, and he gets on this crew guy, and he was like, "Don't worry, I saved tires. I'm good." And they're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
All right. What are we going to do?
You saw him slow down the pace of the race. And it's like he slowed the pace of the race down, and he still had a 1.5 2-second lead. And that was, he was fine there. And he never really had to push it any further. And that was, I think, on his last pit stop, they talked about how his rear tires were starting to go. That was about it. But he looked good. Yeah. And as far as the S's, I don't know. To me, it looked like the S's were a part of the track where they were gaining speed.
Yeah. Yeah, but you'd see some of them cut. He almost drove the S's straight.
Yeah.
If you watch where the other ones, you could kind of see a little bit of the turn. To me, SVG just hit the one and then made a line to the other. It wasn't.
He's more comfortable. He's more comfortable on that embankment.
Yeah, maybe that's where that whole thing is, because you feel that embankment and going up. Because I know they've shown those things are freaking. They don't look that monstrous on TV and everything, but we're driving them, they upset the car tremendously.
Well, you see them bouncing off of them. Yeah, they do something.
Yeah. And then how about the one? What was it? Was it the second stage? I believe it was. Maybe toward he pits and comes out with an 8-second lead.
Yeah.
SVG. I'm like, are you kidding me? You just did a pit stop and come out with an 8-second lead over the people that have already pitted. That's how much. I was like, it's amazing to me. And I do find it funny because, everybody was like, "Oh, you should have to win to get into the playoffs." And he's won 3. And then now everybody's like, "Oh, well, he's 26 in points. Now you can," dude, winning, you're in.
It's got a little bit of thing. And this isn't a fair comparison, but it's got a little bit of smell of Jimmy Johnson to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, because he controls the racing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is going to win.
Changing the rule in the middle of the season because we don't like the way it's going.
Yeah. Because right now you'll have 3 racers out of the top 15 making it because they won a race. And again, some of this will change because you got Austin Cedric is 20, Barry's 21. They can go up and down, might fall, go as it goes. And then right now you'll have SVG who's sitting 26. And then if Austin Dillon repeats at Richmond, he'll be coming in actually, if he wins the race, he'll probably move up some points, but he'll be in the 28th spot right now is where he's at in points.
Yeah, his best chance is probably Daytona.
Yeah. And then you got Brad Keselowski, man. I still think he's going to get a win somewhere.
He's been fast.
At the beginning of the year, it was like.
It was not coming together.
No, and now it feels like it's all there. He just doesn't get the breaks or something. I don't know. It's like
It's hard to win.
we're going to go into pit at this time because we can get it. Now. Oh, caution. Now you're down. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Like, it just seems like everything goes bad for him. But it's going to be interesting to see the rest of the way. And this week we got Dover, then Indy, and I'm happy to see them running the actual Brickyard this time. No more of the road, Indy road race.
Although I think they've got enough road courses at this point. I think they've done enough road courses now, right? Like we've heard enough of it. We don't have to do.
Yeah, you know what they
should. Still doing the Roval, but yeah.
Yeah, they need to probably maybe stagger it a little bit better. To have 3, you're going to have basically 4 of your road courses in about a 9-week period.
Yeah, the 3 back-to-back was crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you had Chicago, then you had one race. Or sorry, Chicago and Sonoma were back-to-back. And then you had a race in between, and then you had the Mexico race. There was one little right? There was a race in between, but again, it's like is Atlanta actually? It was not.
Oh, is Atlanta? Okay.
No. I think you're right. I think it was Atlanta, then Mexico, then Pocono, then the other 2. So I think it was that way.
The Atlanta race kind of threw me off because they stopped calling it Atlanta Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's Echo Park now. And that name rang familiar. I wasn't sure where from, so I'm looking at the racetrack. I'm like, this is Atlanta. Like, is it Atlanta? You know, like what is it? And I had to go look it up and figure it out. But yeah, they had renamed the racetrack like 2 weeks prior to the race.
Yeah, and again, it races like a speedway, but this year, at least listening to Junior on the broadcast, they said it's starting to slow down a little bit. So I don't know if that's good or bad.
Which is crazy because the first race this year was fast.
Yeah. I wonder if they're doing something with the cars like that because they've been working on it feels like the next gen cars. They're always messing with the pressure, something on them to where it's like, I don't know. I don't.
Well, we saw another lug nut come off this week.
What all means, but I do look at the racing and it feels like it's going like this.
we saw another lug nut come off this week.
Yeah, that was on.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, that was Hocevar? No, who was it? Oh no, it was Cody Ware. It was Cody Ware because they were talking about him from the accident the week before, and he was having such a good run. And as they're talking about him, his freaking tire goes rolling out.
Yeah, he gave him the announcer's curse. They started talking about him.
Curse, man. Oh, so much. And then what do we got? A couple more races on TNT, and then we go to NBC to finish the year. So
I like how it's been moving around to different like providers throughout the year, different broadcast teams. We get to see different people. Different people from the past that are on different broadcast teams that we don't get to see all the time. It's not just the guys at Fox and Waltrip running around the pit every week. It's different. I like it.
Yeah, and then also I like the alt broadcast that they have with Larry McReynolds and oh God, why am I drawing a blank on his name now, dude? I haven't watched enough of it to know, but I tune in every once in a while. And like this last time, they had who'd they have on them? I forgot who it was. It was one of the guys, and they were talking about like, oh, if you don't like the way because they were talking about the playoffs with SVG, and he was like, if you don't like it, then go out and beat them. Basically, what you're saying, and it was just like. Again, it was an older school driver. I want to say Ricky Rudd, but I don't think that was Ricky Rudd, right? Ricky Rudd's not with us anymore, is he?
I don't know.
Did I kill off Ricky Rudd?
I don't know. I kill people all the time, so maybe, but I've
I want to say it was Ricky Rudd. But I don't know. Hold on, make sure I can kill him off. No, he's still there, so I believe it was Ricky Rudd. I believe that's who it was on there.
Yeah, he's alive. You killed him off.
Yeah, I killed him off. But okay. But it was cool to see again. And you get the Larry McReynolds. You get the man. I can't think who the other one is, man. Let me look this up, man, because it's bothering me now. Because it's also interesting to me because Larry McReynolds is Fox, but they're allowing him to do this one. So
Alternate broadcast, yeah.
yeah, and it's again, you know, I mean, I like the fact that they're letting a lot of these guys kind of dance around and be in the different things. And of course, I get this article that doesn't say anything about who it is. Jeff Burton. It's
Okay.
Jeff Burton and Larry McReynolds. That's who it is. I just
Yep.
saw it in the thing there, and it's pretty cool, man. It's, you know, because again, they're watching the race, so you're seeing the race, but you're getting their breakdown of the things as it happens that they see. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pretty cool little thing, and I like the fact they're doing um less timed pre-races. I don't need 2 hours. I need 2 hours at Daytona.
At the beginning
2
of the year.
hours. Yeah, 2 hours at one of the, you know, like the big races. I don't need, you know, 2 hours every week, man. There's not enough to talk about. I like the fact that they stick around after the race and they're there the whole time. They're right behind, you know, or they're celebrating, and then the driver comes on. And to me, again, I get it with Prime because you're not really on a time schedule because you can do whatever the hell, you know, it's not a, you know, TNT doesn't do it as long, but they at least stick around. Whereas Fox, it's like, all right, that's it for Fox. We'll send it to the local news. Everybody go to FS1 to catch on the, bro, I don't want to change the channel.
Yeah.
Just on TV, man.
Yeah, I'm vegetating right now. Don't make me
Yeah.
do stuff.
Just made me watch this race, and now I got to find out where the channel is for FS1. But I do like that, and I like some of the things that they're doing too. Some of the different, you know, the different camera angles, and again, it allows. It's one of the same thing when the NFL had the only thing when the only broadcast was Fox and NBC. You didn't have a lot of different things. Now you're seeing a lot of the different things, and again, the bracket challenge thing to me made these 10 races so good. You had the 5 leading up, and then the 5 races that are, you know, the 5 beginning, which is funny to me because the positioning SVG wasn't in because he never finished good enough. And that's
Yeah,
why
right.
Ty Dillon made it in. He beat SVG by 1 spot. And if SVG was in this, like, he'd be dominating this thing right now.
Assuming he didn't get knocked out with everybody else that
That's
first
right.
week. He may have. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? We're gonna have to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
Because Ty Dillon didn't, but he knocked
No.
my guy out. Oh shoot! What else was there? What else?
So did you see the Earnhardt documentary? The
Some of
4-part
it.
series
I
on
haven't
Netflix?
sit through the whole thing yet.
Right. Or Prime? It was on Prime, right?
Prime, yeah.
Yeah. So I learned a couple of things in there.
Mm-hmm.
I learned about the fact that Senior had really like pushed Michael Waltrip into the team and had brought him in and had been telling him for years, like, you know, Mikey, if you were in my car, you'd be winning. You know,
Yeah.
If you were in my car, you'd win a race. The very first race he's in his car, he wins. Now,
Yes.
obviously, it was Earnhardt's last race. So see how that goes. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had known about the Junior winning and then Michael Waltrip celebrating with Junior at the July race later that year. I had known about that, but I hadn't seen it in a while. That made me tear up. That was, it was really cool. And then
I like the fact when he said it actually gave him, because he didn't really celebrate the Daytona 500 win because of everything that happened. So that allowed him to finally have his celebration. Waltrip said it. Now I did see that part of it.
And the part of it that I really learned about was I didn't know how good Darrell Waltrip was.
Who?
Darrell Waltrip.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was a Waltrip fan, not a fan, but I mean, like, I had seen a lot of him, so I knew who Darrell Waltrip was. That's why when I heard Michael Waltrip, I had them confused at first. I was like, man, and then I realized that, oh wait, no, that's the guy talking, not the guy racing. So.
Yeah, so I had always known that Daryl Waltrip. I knew who Daryl Waltrip was, but I never realized how dominant he was for how long. That part I didn't know. I wasn't alive then, and when you grow up, you hear about Richard Petty.
Yeah.
You hear about some of the other people. I never really heard about Daryl Waltrip being this dominating force, and that was news to me. That was interesting. So I went and looked at it a little bit, and I mean, yeah, he was really good, and that I didn't know that.
It was funny to me too because I thought not that he was banned by NASCAR, but like he was always the
He was the baby.
yeah, he was the baby. I mean,
He was the baby face.
yeah, yeah, but he never felt like he got his due.
I
If
don't
that
know.
makes sense.
Maybe. I mean, the documentary made it seem like he got his due for quite a while until Earnhardt took it from him.
Yeah, yeah. No. As he got aged out, he got aged out. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what happened. I mean, it was. But also the other thing is, you know what I watched, and they covered the same. It wasn't Earnhardt, was it? With the Michael Waltrip part where he's driving his truck, and he's talking about. There's a Waltrip one also out, Michael Waltrip one, where he's in his car with the director, and they kind of go back through everything, and they talk about the Earnhardt stuff, about Earnhardt wanting him to be his driver. How he had always wanted, Earnhardt was always after him, and then finally they, the whole story, which you just said, so I won't repeat it again, and that's where I heard it from, not from the actual Earnhardt, the thing. But the reason I was saying it was because Daryl, the parents put so much money into Daryl,
That.
they couldn't fund Michael to race.
Yeah.
Daryl took his money and funded Michael to race.
Yeah. Eventually.
Yes, yeah.
Eventually, but not at first.
Not at first. No, not at first. Because he didn't think he was going to be good enough, I think, is what he said. Or no, I mean, they didn't put it that way, but, and then he started winning on the circuit and everything he was in, and they were like, okay, all right, now I'll put some money into you.
Kind of the same thing that happened to Junior. I didn't realize that the Junior didn't have very much backing when he was racing in like some of the local tracks and stuff. It took years for Earnhardt to even buy him a car, much less, him and his brother, they bought like a $2,000 car and they fixed it. And then at some point, like they would borrow it. They'd each borrow it. And at some point, his dad bought him and his brother and his sister a car, and they went out and raced, and they started doing better. But, he didn't necessarily have it handed to him. They would be out there fixing the car and working on it. And I don't know how many of the drivers there like today.
But to me, that's what I feel like NASCAR used to be. Like you
absolutely.
Get your own car, show me you're going to do it, then I'll buy into it. Because if I just hand it to you, what happens when you start losing or whatever? Well, you're just going to quit, and I got a car over here that I bought you to race in, and it was a whole different time frame back then.
Yeah, those people were rebuilding their own cars. It was wild. I don't know if any of the drivers now could build a car.
Well,
I can't build a car, so like it's not. I'm not trying to shit on them, but
no, not at all. But I mean, but again, a lot of those guys understood what it took, and again, nowadays it's more of your face, your name, and you're in a car. I mean, it's not. I feel bad. That one year, who was it? Di Benedetto.
Mm-hmm.
And his ride went, and like, look at him now. He's racing trucks for like a guy that's got one truck. Like they can't even wreck it because if he does, he's going to be out the next week. Like,
right.
It's like, man. And I thought he was a pretty damn good racer, but now he's sitting back there. And now when you look at all this new talent coming up, I don't know that he's going to get a chance to come back to the Cup. Because you got Zilich, you got Zawalik, there's a bunch of itches going on.
Yeah, so Solowich, Zilich, Love, Austin Hill, Corey Heim.
Hey, you forget about some of those other guys, too, that have been – Austin Hill feels like he's been around forever, but he started so damn young.
Yeah.
He's really not that old. He's just been around forever. racing trucks, and then now he's up in Xfinity. And I mean, there's Sheldon Creed. I mean, some of those guys in trucks that might end up.
I'm not bought on Sheldon Creed yet.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
he's
was
there.
last year. This year, after watching this year, I'm kind of like, I took a step back because the year
And then we
before
got
I
some of
felt
the
like he was.
and some of the guys in trucks are just never leaving. Like
Yeah,
Friesen, he's just never
yeah.
leaving.
Well, he bought his own
It's over.
car. Yeah,
I mean, this is what he does now. Yeah.
That's it.
And I remember
And
when
they're
he was
happy for
younger
it. I
and it
mean,
seemed like he was going to go.
yeah.
Never
And then
happened.
Crafton's always been down there. I don't know whether by choice or it just happened that way, but he's always been in trucks. Yeah. So I mean, but there's a lot of talent coming up, and then when you watch ARCA, there's a lot of talent there too. That's still not even. It's gonna be very interesting.
One of my favorite parts about watching trucks is watching the watching the crews. They're just some of them are kind of ragtag. I root for them.
One more time. I'm sorry. I just got a text from somebody. I'm sorry.
You're good. I said one of my favorite parts of watching the trucks is the crews themselves. Like they're
Yes.
just a little bit more ragtag,
A little bit more. There's a 10 by 10 tent. I remember going
Yeah.
at Homestead when I was doing the media there. I'm like, because again, you have the teams and they got their stuff, and then you look right beside them and it's a 10 by 10 tent, and it's those little, the jacks that, you're just pushing up and they're changing one tire at a time. There's one guy running around and doing it all.
And the jack guy is like an old school jack guy. He's a big dude. Not a former football player that's just like built and sturdy, No.
It's Joe from the mechanic shop down the street.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. I noticed that with the trucks. I was like, wow. Because I was like, man, there's not a lot of boxes out here for this race. And then I look, I'm like that a 10 by 10 tent?
Yeah.
And there's it reminded me of Days of Thunder. They're like sitting there, this is going on. They're drinking tea, and then all of a sudden they must hear something because then they get up. It's like, oh, time to go to work now. Three of them, like, okay, let's go. Here they come in. But yeah, I mean, again, you got to get your start somewhere, man. You got to get to start somewhere. I haven't watched enough ARCA races to see how their whole setup is for their pit stops and things like that. I haven't paid attention.
I don't think I've seen an ARCA race this year.
Yeah, I've watched one, the Daytona one, and I think it was the Talladega one. And I don't remember them pitting because usually when they pit, I go to the bathroom because I'm like, all right, and there's always a wreck or something. Anything? Oh, you got any trivia today? Did you bring any trivia today?
I did. So
yeah, I remembered.
Yeah. So we during our break we had the Chicago race, right? So
Yes.
It got me thinking, and I saw some posts on X from Chicagoland. You saw those, but the grass is growing through the track and it's cracking and it's starting to fall apart. So it got me thinking. What was the last Cup Series race? What year? You don't have to pick the date. What year was the last Cup Series race at Chicagoland?
Let's see. There's grass already growing through the Chicagoland track. That takes some time for seeding. 2012.
Not that long ago, but yes.
Yeah.
So it was 2019.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So Chicagoland got canceled that year because of the of COVID, and it never reopened. Chicagoland is a COVID casualty.
Wow. Look at that. Wow. Jeez. So if they would have had that race there that year, you think Chicagoland stays or no? Or was it already due to because I know California Raceway, they did the last race there so they could shorten it, and then they're going to go back later. Was that in the works for Chicagoland, and then the whole thing happened? And
Chicagoland was already pretty old. So the thought that they may have left and just done the streets, because obviously they had been planning the street race. I don't know if maybe that was already in effect and then it just happened to work out. But I can't imagine that they would have had Chicagoland and the street race still.
Yeah, they're not getting two races there.
Yeah.
That's
if anything, they'd go to Michigan twice. Michigan's a hell of a racetrack.
Yeah. The NZ Crafty. Nice to see SVG win 3 straight races. Yes. 100%. He's dominating the the street racing, and welcome to Talking Racing Now. Appreciate you. Yeah, no, I didn't even realize that it was a COVID casualty. I did not notice that.
Yeah, me neither.
Man. But why didn't they was that when everything was, I'm guessing when everything was shut down? Because they came back for some races.
So
I guess
yeah,
they
so
had already
the
passed on the schedule. I'm guessing is probably earlier on. 'Cause I'm trying to think now the time frame of when everything was closed down, and every state was different, so I don't know, but obviously.
so yeah, it was Illinois. It doesn't say when the race would have been. It wasn't officially removed from the schedule until 2021. So, but yeah, they went and raced.
Yeah.
They were all
Yeah.
over the place. That was one of the few things you could watch was NASCAR.
Yeah. It was NASCAR, it was football, it was, a lot, but it was empty arenas. I mean, it was crazy watching sports at that time with where you could actually hear a whistle or players talking or whatever. Like that was a weird time for sports. NZ Crafty says got to fly the NZ flag in the US.
Yeah, did you see I guess he signs a
Yeah, he signs the
ball, a rugby ball, and kicks it?
Hey, NZ Crafty, help me out. What is that ball called? It's the rugby ball, but is it called a rugby ball or is there a name for that? Yeah, he missed a week, by the way. He didn't get it to the
He didn't
stand.
kick it very far this time. Yeah, he didn't make it. He came
He
up a
kicked
little
it
short.
far, but I didn't realize how far the track was from the stand. I was like,
Yeah,
bro,
there
that
was
was
quite
a
a bit
good
of
kick.
space.
I was like, that's a good kick. And then all of a sudden I see all the crews going after the ball over there. I was like, wow, look at that.
I looked at it again. He shanked it a little. He side-footed it a little.
And he said, I mean, only been driving for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Bouncing all over the car and everything. I'll give him this one. He could shank it. I'll let him shank it if that's the case. But we'll see if NZ Crafty answers us back. Anything else you got on the racing while we were away, or anything you got coming up?
Two things. So I hope everyone got their watermelons. We got a nice Florida watermelon advertisement this year it was the 4th of July race, right? That he won, Chastain. Yep, he won. So he won there, and then over our break, I found out that I have the same or similar ball for rugby union and rugby league.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe they just call it a ball. I don't know.
Yeah.
I found out that I have an IndyCar driver that I like.
What?
I haven't watched IndyCar in a while. Yeah.
What is it?
So, well, you'd be surprised to learn that he races for Penske and he drives the number 2.
No, you're not saying.
Joseph Newgarden. Apparently, I have a driver.
All
They have a
right.
2-car, and it's good, and it's for Penske. So
Yeah,
I'm
Newgarden's
on
pretty good.
IndyCar now.
He's a good little driver. So you've been watching the Indy races too?
Some of it, yeah. I caught some of the fever after the Indy race, and I caught like the last half of the Iowa race, and yeah, man, it's fun. It's good stuff. Although I felt like they didn't go very fast at Iowa. I was looking at it, and they were topping out at like 179, 180.
I don't like that they run them together. Like, why don't they have an Indy race? Like, for instance, this week, again, I know it doesn't always work out this way. They're in Iowa. The Cup guys are in California.
Mm-hmm.
So why couldn't you start the California race a little later, let the Iowa race finish, and then you have like they do on the Indy 500 Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
You've got the F1 goes in the morning, then the Indy's in the afternoon, and you finish at night with NASCAR. I get it. You can't do every race, night for NASCAR, but maybe, flip it every once in a while to where NASCAR goes first if they're here. You go under the lights or what you can do. But I would like to see them work something out to where it can be a balance, because it was very odd when NASCAR was still on Fox and you had the NASCAR racing on FS1 and the Indy race was on Fox.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so what are we doing here? You're counter programming yourself to me. I mean, it's just.
Other than that, I got tickets to the Coke 0400, so I'll be going to the race coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Nice, man. Enjoy that. Hamlin will take it. Don't worry about it. Make sure you celebrate the 11 win, okay?
Yeah. And I got a couple of new hats, so we'll be busting out some new hats.
Is that a hat or a beanie on you right now?
No, this is a hat. But
Okay, it's just the way it's
I bought it, and I realized that it says discount tire on the front of it, and I just look like a salesman.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're selling some
So-
tires? All 4? I need all 4?
Yeah, I need all 4 tires. So you gotta flip it over, get the 2 on there. I bought it online. I didn't look at it until I got here, and I like the discount tire color package.
Yeah.
The black, red, and white. So that's why I got it, but it literally looks like I'm selling tires.
It does, actually. I'm still gonna tell me I need an oil change too or something.
Yeah, it does. It looks like I work there. So yeah, I gotta flip it around
I love
backwards.
I love it. We will be here every Monday now till the end of the season, hopefully. 7 p.m. It is Talking Racing Now. Let all the racing fans know. Send it out there. Flip it up in the universe. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. We're here every Monday, 7 p.m. Spencer, appreciate your time today, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Stoney, I see you there. We've been praying for you, brother.
And with that,
But you've been doing better. I'm glad.
I cut you off, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
say
you're
it.
saying I said I hear you've been doing better. I'm glad.
There it is. For Spencer O'Neill, I am Sean Stanley. That's Talking Racing Now. We'll see you next Monday, 7 p.m. They are in Dover this weekend, so we'll be celebrating a Denny Hamlin victory next Monday, right here on Talking Racing